Hello everybody, welcome to another Starground devlog. If you don't know what Starground is, you can check out the Starground playlist. But TLDR, it's half automation, half roguelike dungeon crawler, and it's designed for online co-op, so people with different tastes in games can play together. There's some important stuff I have to go over, so this video is going to have a much longer intro than usual. But if you want to get to the good stuff, then feel free to skip to the next chapter. It's like down here on the bar. First off, I want to take a minute and thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. I didn't expect us to hit that so soon, and I want to thank everybody who's checked out the streams and joined the Discord. You guys are epic. As a 1,000 sub special, we're going to be doing a Q&A and then also a raffle where the winner will get an in-game character skin. Yeah, in Starground. To get involved in the Q&A and the raffle, you can leave a question on any of the links down below in the description. And for Discord, there's a dedicated Q&A chat for that. These questions will be answered in the Q&A, but it's also the way you can enter the raffle. So anyone who has submitted a question for the Q&A is automatically entered into the raffle. You will have until January 23rd to submit the questions. So hurry up. And lastly, I want to say, if you want to be a monthly sub over at the Ko-fi page, we're going to be uploading extra stuff from the devlogs that go into more just detail about the technical side of Starground. And also, monthly sub names will be at the end credits of every video. It's $5 a month and completely optional, but we would really appreciate it. Okay, now on to the actual devlog. So first up is automation. Let's start with the collector. I kind of laid out the plans for these guys last devlog, but I worked on adding the bee drones that go out and grab resources for you and bring them back to the collector. Essentially, you place down the base station, then it sends out a maximum of 3 bee drones that collect resources within a certain range. They mine the resources, grab them, and then bring them back to the base station. If it's full, then they wait for an open slot. And once the items are in there, you can take them out, move them to furnaces, do whatever you want with them. Next is indicators. I realize it could be a little annoying not being able to see where you were moving items to and from. And in general, it's just a good idea to have all the information you can when you're trying to set up factories. So I added little visual elements that show you where things move, with a square for the input and then a circle for the output. And we also have a radius of the collector's range when you put your mouse over that as well. If you have any feedback on how these look, then leave a comment and let us know what you would change. I also made it so that resources are finally required to build stuff. And as a result of this, I added more of the build menu. Now you can see the name, description, and the required resources for the stuff you want to make there. Before it was kind of like Minecraft creative mode where you could just place things infinitely at no cost, but now you actually need to start automating to make stuff, which is kind of a good thing for an automation game. And also while doing all this stuff, I basically doubled the performance of the entire game. It's not like I had to crack down and jump into some low-level code, but really it's just a matter of rearranging some expensive calls to the beginning of the creation of an object rather than every frame. So, but yeah, double performance, epic!
The salami leg ain't gonna fit, so the salami leg.
Another huge thing I've been working on is sort of a rework of the whole dungeon generation. There wasn't anything super wrong with how it was before, but I just found the limited size and shape of the dungeon rooms was kind of becoming a problem for some of the plans that we had. So how I have it set up now is that all the rooms are spaced apart by a set distance. A room can be any shape or size within the square now. Instead of having to be directly connected to other rooms, we use the illusion of programming and just teleport the player. I also have it set up for special rooms as well, and I'll kind of mention that later. The transition and camera stuff needs to be refined, but this will be so much more flexible for any type of room that we want to do. Doors also link these rooms together now as well, so you can finally enter and exit the dungeon by finding the star launcher in the exit room. And you might be able to see the enemies generating around. They don't attack or anything yet, but pathfinding is working. And that'll be kind of one of the next big things that I'm working on for the dungeon.
Oh, the sounds, I don't like them.
Okay, so now it's on to all of the future plans. All right, so for dungeoning stuff, there's so much we can do with special rooms, but just a few off the top of my head are like loot rooms, NPC dialogue rooms, resource rooms, and then just kind of other miscellaneous rooms. And those will just kind of be like rooms which are very specific in purpose and probably will only appear once in a game, maybe. But we'll see on that. We'll see. Hopefully I can get started adding these little bonus rooms to spice up dungeons and just pleasantly reward people for braving all the enemies. For dungeoning, I also plan to work on the first boss for the moon. I don't really have a super solid idea for what that might be yet, But feel free to leave suggestions in the comments or on the Discord if you have some good ideas for a moon boss. On to the automation stuff. So I have some automation stuff planned really soon. First is a splitter, and this will branch one conveyor into 2 outputs. This is great for balancing the output of a belt and can also be used to merge 2 belts into 1 output as well if you want. I also want to add a filter slot to the movers. Essentially, this will let you drag an item over to a filter slot, and then the mover will only move that item. This is really great for filtering out the products of a collector, for example. I also want to discuss the research system in the game. This will lock off certain buildings that you have to research before you can start building and using them. I think I'll do a tier-based system. So certain products have a tier associated with them. Raw materials like wood are tier 1. But refine those into more complicated components, and now you've got yourself a tier 2 item. And with those items, you can unlock specific researches from that given category. And to do so, you have to produce an item from that tier, and you have to put it into a seller machine. You can sort of build up a currency of sorts and choose what buildings you want to unlock in that given tier. Lastly, I want to talk about another cool thing that will come eventually, which is the hub world. And this will act as an area for NPCs, shops, just other types of things like that, to be kind of just position one central location for everybody to use. It's a great foundation to use maybe for a future questing system, marketplaces, and all sorts of fun stuff like that. But yeah, that's all for this devlog. Lots of new content and hopefully lots more to come soon. But if that's all sounding cool to you, be sure to catch the devlogs here on YouTube, watch development streams on Twitch, or join the Discord for regular updates. And again, if you missed it, we have Ko-fi page member subscription benefits now. So if you want to dig down a little deeper into this devlog, then check it out there. Okay. That's all for the devlog. Bye. What are you looking at?